Hey, what's up, amazing person? Thank you so much for being here and clicking on this video. Today we are talking about things that we can do so that we are consistently on time for everything. Everything, guys. So we are going to be having a whole list of things. So stay tuned for that. Before we proceed, a little housekeeping. Thank you to each and every one of you who are subscribed to this channel. And I think it's time we gave ourselves a title because this channel is all about growth and personal development. We are discovering new ways of doing things, we are learning, and I thought of us being learners, right? And I think it's a very cool name because it labels us as people who are seeking growth every day. We are seeking to learn something that can advance us so that we show up as better versions of who God created us to be. Yeah? How cool is that? Yeah, so if you haven't subscribed, please make sure to do so that you join the learning community. And with that, let's get to our points for the day. The first thing is planning ahead. Plan your tasks in advance and prioritize what needs to be done. You know, like plan even a day ahead. And when you know exactly what needs to be done, you're able to allocate even the actual time that task would take you. So you allocate time more efficiently. Also, planning ahead for me is like you begin to work on that task mentally before you can do it physically. And that's a big plus if you ask me. Prompt number 2, factor in your commute time or your travel time. How much time does it take you to move from one place to your destination? Think about such things and factor in things like traffic, public transportations and schedules. If you're using something like a train, what time is it leaving, so that you get there in good time and you're not late for flights, because any potential delays can actually cost you a lot of time and money. So we are trying to avoid all of that. So account for that travel time, account for it. How much time will it actually take you to get to the train station? How is the traffic on the route that you're using? Think about such things. Number 3, breaking down tasks into smaller ones. It's something that we've talked about over before, but it doesn't hurt to hear it again, right? For that, let's look at this example. Compare these two tasks. The first one is complete a project, and the other one is draft pointers for a presentation. A question for you, which one feels more actionable and feasible? You're right, the second one, because it's broken down from the bigger goal, so it feels even more manageable. That's something you can do. It's easier to allocate the time needed for the smaller task compared to this other big one. Now, the fourth thing is giving yourself some extra time. Extra time always acts as a buffer for any things that might just come up, because things sometimes just come up, things that we had not planned for. So have a buffer time. If something is supposed to take 2 days to complete, make it 3, as in let it read 3, so that you have more time in your hands in case things don't go completely as we have planned. For example, if there's a blackout and you are working on a task that was supposed to be submitted to a client, and you had given them like more time instead of the actual time that it will take, that more time covers for this unplanned for thing, this unforeseen thing that comes up. So have extra time for each and every task that you do. Even if it's just 5 minutes extra, it will really save you a lot of headache. Smart move. Number 5 is one of my favorite, and I think it's because it's something that I am working on for this year. Arrive to places early. We refuse to get to places all sweaty just because we rushed there. Yes, we refuse to get to places late this year. Getting to a place in time allows you to settle in, just adjust yourself to the environment before other people come in. It also gives you time to take photos with important people before the place gets crowded, right? Let's engage a little here on this point. Leave a comment down below if you're the kind of person who gets to places early, and I am interested to know as well how that has played out for you. Like, what are the benefits of it? How did it work out for you? Yeah, and encourage someone. Prompt number 6 is having routines. Have a routine for your morning. Have a routine for any other thing that usually messes you up when it comes to time. Have a routine for that. This one will streamline your preparation processes, and it will actually help you manage your time efficiently. The processes will become more automatic, so that you know, I take 20 minutes in the shower, I take 5 minutes to dress up, you know, all these things. So having a routine helps you understand how much time it takes you actually to cover some tasks. And in future, it becomes easier to approximate the time and to allocate time to tasks. So have a routine. The 7th prompt, you guys, is say no if you need to. You have to be very mindful of the commitments you already have so that you don't overload yourself. And if you learn to say no to unnecessary commitments, you will be a star, you know, at accomplishing the things that you've already scheduled to do. And also it speaks a lot about your work ethic. People can trust you to deliver things on time. The 8th thing that we can do so that we are constantly on time for things is to practice punctuality. Prioritize punctuality and self-discipline. It says a lot about you and how you regard people's time. It shows your respect for other people's time. You have to cultivate that discipline, you guys, that other people's time is important. Put that in your mind, you know, let it be a mindset that you are working on, knowing to regard other people's time, yeah? And it helps you also stay on track with your schedule. If you get used to being punctual and being self-disciplined with things, your time will never, you know, be wasted. Let's say that your time will never be wasted. Prompt number 9, use alarms and reminders. Use them to nudge you about upcoming tasks and appointments so that you're not late. With the digital era we are living in, you guys, there's no excuse. There's no excuse because you have your phone right there with you, and that means you have a constant reminder, something to tell you, hey, it's time, you're done with this, move to the next thing, or this is the upcoming task in your schedule or in your to-do list. So there's no excuse really. Number 10, multitasking is not king. I said it, and I said it with a lot of love. You have to focus on one thing at a time so that you can maximize on your efficiency. I think multitasking brings a lot of confusion, and like it causes even more challenges. It brings a lot of challenges because if you're working on 10 other things like at the same time, imagine this thing comes up with its challenges, the next thing has its challenges, so you have a couple of things to resolve, and it will be like a downward spiral of you being late. It will trickle down to the next thing that needs to be done, and so on and so on. So multitasking is not king, you know. Focus on one thing and get it done, and done well. Please don't come for me if you're the kind of person who multitasks. Leave a comment down below and let me know how that is working out for you. If it's working out right, I mean, go all in, all the best, and share with us some of the nuggets and how you do it, yeah? So for me, that's my reservation when it comes to multitasking. Number 11, prepare the night before. There's nothing like the morning stress of figuring out, what do I wear? You get me? Are you with me on this one? Leave a comment. So I prefer to do as much preparation as I can in the evening. If I need to iron clothes, if I need to pick out a bag, you know, like do those things in the evening when you can. Not to say that I do it all the time. There are times I don't do it. And honestly, when I do it, it's very satisfying, and I at least leave the house in good time. Maybe now other things will mess me up along the way, but at least if I get that part right, I'm able to leave the house in good time, yeah? So prepare the night before. Have even a checklist if you need to. And our smartphones nowadays are really, really efficient because there's a, like the note section for my phone has, you can have a checklist. Once you're done with something, you check it off. So you can actually do that on your phone. Have a checklist of what do I need, you know, and then check things off as you go so that you have everything ready for the next day. Whew, that was a mouthful. Number 12, learn how to approximate time correctly. And I think this one comes with experience, because the more you do things, the more you engage on some repetitive tasks, the more you know. Actually, it takes me 20 minutes to dress up. It takes me 20 minutes to prepare this kind of meal, you know. So you have the right amount of time. So if you are allocating or coming up with a schedule, you know what amount of time to allocate for each process or each activity. One of the things that I have hacked is actually the amount of time it takes me from the house to town. It's easy for me to allocate that time. And you see, when you can approximate the time it takes you for different things, you can figure out how the day will be looking like. Number 13, avoid distractions. Whether it's from your phone, your laptop, YouTube, whatever it is. Avoid distractions, you guys, because distractions get you off the schedule. An example, if you have something to write and it takes you like an hour, you know it's going to take you an hour, and in the course of doing that, you take your phone and get distracted. You join the TikTok, you go into the TikTok for around 20 minutes. You know, that means now you have only 40 minutes to work on the thing that you're working on. And that leads to you delaying the next activity. You get? So they connect. If you waste time on one thing, it's going to be reflected on the next one. So what I'm saying is avoid distraction. And in one of the videos, we talked about accounting for distraction, accounting for the time you'll spend on your phone so that it doesn't interfere with any other activity. Number 14 is one of my favorites. You have to tell people when you're late, you guys. It's courteous. It's courteous to tell someone, hey, I know I said I'll be there at 9 a.m., but with how things are going and with how this traffic is looking like, I'll be there at 9:30. It shows a lot of respect for people's time as well. It's a good thing to let people know that you won't make there in time as you had expected, yeah? Are you the kind of person that does that? If you are, thumbs up and big up yourself. Number 15, reward yourself for being punctual. By all means, give yourself props, you guys. If you are early and you get to a place in good time, reward yourself because you have made, especially if it's your first days, as in taking up this challenge of getting to places in time and doing things punctually, reward yourself because a reward system is fun and you'll find yourself being more punctual for things. So make it more fun with the reward system so that you can always be on time for things. Number 16 and the last one for this list is to evaluate yourself and make adjustments. What I'm saying is if you've noticed patterns of lateness in one area or another of your life, figure out where is the root? What is the root of this? Where is it coming from? Why am I always late for this thing? And what can I do to avoid that next time? Yeah. So make adjustments. I know it's a long list. Pick maybe 2 things that you can work on at a go. You can actually save this video so that you can come back and refer to these things. You know, if you've hacked and checked off some of them, pick up the next 2 and work on that until it becomes a habit. And soon enough, you'll find yourself being punctual and being on time and constantly showing up in good time to places. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching this far. And since you made it this far, you guys, I have something that I want to share with you. And I really want to know your honest opinion of this. I have been thinking about doing a live here on this channel. So, is it something that you would be interested in? Leave a comment, let me know. And yeah, I can follow it up again in the next video and see how the responses are. And that will determine whether we are having a live or not. It's a bit scary to think about, but I am willing to take up the challenge if you guys would invite that thought. So leave a comment down below. So give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you've not, and see you in one of my other videos. Bye.